Welcome to my first mini story series today. Talking to a mom of two sarcastic kids, hardworking, sarcastic kids, and a grandma Cece to four amazing grandkids. So this is my mom, Chris Palmquist, and today we're going to be talking a little bit with her and her story. So first of all, can you say your maiden name in the proper way, since I cannot say it in the proper way?
My full maiden, or just the last name?
Sure, your full name.
Christine Ann Guerra.
Okay. And can you do a little bit more roll of the R for us?
Guerra.
So you have a good roll of the R, but you don't speak a lick of Spanish. Why is that?
Very little. Because my mom, especially my mom, did not want us growing up with disadvantages, because she herself and my father grew up with disadvantages in Texas. They were had to go in the back of the bus. My mom and dad are Mexican, and they grew up born in Texas, and those were the prejudices back then, and they carried it over to us when we moved out here.
So they didn't want you to speak Spanish.
It was
they didn't
never
want to teach it to you.
Right. She just did not want us to have the disadvantage, and they spoke Spanish, so maybe they linked that they spoke their language and that they were looked down upon. So my mom and dad spoke Spanish amongst themselves, but they did not teach us any Spanish. We weren't spoken to in Spanish.
What was it like then growing up in Temple City, being Mexican, in a Mexican family?
I never felt it. I never thought I was different than the other kids. But
what years roughly are we talking about? Like what decade?
In the 50s.
Okay.
1950s, when we moved from Los Angeles to Rosemead, rented a home in Rosemead while my mom and dad had a home built in Temple City. So we lived in Rosemead while the home was being built in Temple City. But no, I didn't feel any, kind of prejudice. Went to parochial school, Catholic school.
Which school?
St. Luke's Catholic School.
Can you tell me about one of the toughest challenges you've lived through in your life this far?
Probably the toughest challenges is anxiety and agoraphobia from the anxiety.
And then the agoraphobia you had when?
In the 60s, when I was in high school. I was in an automobile accident when I was 15. So from 15 on, it was hard because I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know what to do, and neither did my parents.
So the car accident sounded like it triggered.
Yeah.
It triggered the agoraphobia, which they would say now you probably have post-traumatic stress syndrome.
It triggered the anxiety first.
It triggered the anxiety.
Yeah.
Which led you to and agoraphobia. Can you explain what agoraphobia is?
Fear of the open. They call it fear of the open place. I couldn't go to the store. I couldn't go to the dentist. I couldn't go to the doctor. I couldn't leave home. I thought I was gonna die. My heart would pound, and it was a very difficult time because back then there wasn't a name for it.
And how did you work to get out of that?
A therapist. Your dad helped a lot and understood and was comforting and said he would help me. And so, therapist and your father.
Do you have any post-traumatic stress issues from that accident today?
No, I don't have any now. I think about it now because a therapist or someone told me, a psychologist, that that's what I did have was PTSD. At least that's what they call it now. I never thought about it, and my first reaction when they said that was I thought it was just for the military, people who went to war and then came back and had that. Didn't realize that that was, what I had.
Yeah, the people outside of the military can have that
Yeah.
every day.
Didn't know that.
It doesn't have to be the biggest, or there doesn't have to be an extreme situation or an event to occur
Right.
to have PTSD. It can
But
just be small.
Didn't know that. There was no name for it at that time in the 60s or 70s.
What age do you feel right now, and why?
Oh,
And what age, how old are you, if you don't mind saying? What age do you feel in comparison to the actual age? And why do you feel that age?
I'm 74, and I guess I feel like maybe 60. I do yoga. I've done yoga for 20 some odd years. I walk. I try to keep myself fit and current with stuff, with not politics, but just things that are out there, and trying to keep an open mind about things.
What does 60 feel like? So if you don't feel 72, what does 60 feel like?
I'm 74.
You're doing a really good job at this.
I know. I'm 74. What does 62? What does 60 feel like?
Yeah, what does 60 feel like? What does 60 feel like that's different than 30 felt like?
Jeez, I don't know. I can't say comparison. I just lived my age as my birthdays came around, and I just lived the age. So I can't say what I feel different, why I feel like 60. I just still feel young. So I was young at 30, I was young at 40, I was young at 50, I was young at 60.
What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Craziest thing I've ever done?
Yeah, which for you is not going to be actually crazy for some people.
I got married.
That's
That was crazy for me. I mean, the way I was brought up, that was great. That's crazy for me. That was.
How about the way you got married? Maybe how you got married in a non-traditional sense.
Yeah. I've never regretted that. So yeah, I got.
That's
married.
kind of the crazy aspect of it.
Yeah, I guess because I planned a wedding. We planned the wedding, and I backed out because I was afraid. So, to me, that's crazy. I've never jumped out of an airplane, so that would be crazy. But I haven't done that.
So then, where did you end up getting married then?
Las Vegas, in the little Silver Bell wedding chapel.
Was it at night or was it during the daytime?
It was nighttime.
Nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
When the credits roll, what do you think is the most important thing in life? So when the credits roll, meaning when you die, when it's that time,
What's the
in
most
20
important?
years, 20 years from now, what's the most important thing in life?
Love and respect from my family, my husband, my friends.
And has that evolved and changed over your life? Where maybe if I had asked you 30 years ago?
Well, yeah, because I wasn't really thinking about my mortality, immortality. I wasn't thinking that. So, yeah.
That?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you do this again if I asked you to do it again?
Sure.
Give more fun questions?
Yeah, more fun.
Okay. Well, thanks for giving us a little bit of your story and
You're
being
welcome.
my first person to try this on. And that's it. Till next time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Love you.
Love you too.